Hello, I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is The Way I See It.
Hello, my name is Ken Pierre, and this is The Way I See It.
Hello, it's Women's History Month. February was Black History Month, and this is Women's History Month. So we wanted to start out by talking about a woman who's close to my heart. Her name is Dr. Alice Paul. You may not know who she is, but we tried to get the Equal Rights Amendment ratified again in the state of Georgia. It's only been, since 1924 since she wrote it. So we're not any bit behind here in Georgia, as friends would say, or Georgia. But we'll try again next year. But Alice wrote it, and all it says is that women have the right, to equal protection under the Constitution. I don't know why it's so hard to get it passed, but it is. And so what I decided to do was I always knew, I was a big ERA proponent and did all these things with it, but I didn't know anything about her. So I picked up a biography 2 months ago and started reading about her. And what these women went through just for the right to vote, it's just unbelievable. I found out that, these women were arrested and beaten and sent to prison and force-fed. They put tubes down their throat because they would go on hunger strikes. Everything they did was peaceful. And at one point, the Night of Terror is what they call it, the guards and everything got so frustrated because the women were so calm and peaceful and loving and were praying and singing that they put roaches and parts of rodents and rats and maggots in their food. So even when they force-fed them, they fed them filth. And they made them go to the bathroom in front of the guards, the male guards. I mean, it was just humiliating, awful. And this would have been right about 1916, 1917. And the 19th Amendment, which is the voting rights, was passed, in the next couple years. But this woman was a Quaker, which Susan B. Anthony was a Quaker, which were the beginnings of the women's movement at the very beginning.
Legend.
And it's interesting that they had, the Quakers had this. They were big, I know you know this, in abolition.
Abolitionists.
Era. Absolutely. They were the ones, whether it was Harriet Tubman or all of them, they offered the homes, they offered the money, the support of the food. The Quakers were amazingly big in the whole social justice movement of this country. So anyway, she was from a privileged family. She got a doctorate back then, women who got a doctorate. But she committed her whole life, her entire life, every moment of her life, every day of her life. She never even married, had children, to women's suffrage for the right to vote, and then for the Equal Rights Amendment. And it was never passed, still hasn't. She's dead. But I think, to me, it's Alice Paul, but it's also the symbol of all of these women that came together. A lot of them, 3, 4, 5 kids. A lot of them were nursing. A lot of them, they sacrificed so much when they got sent to prison and to jail each time. And again, no matter what they did to them, they responded with kindness and gentleness. So, and I know that at Women's History Month, you have with your reverent respect for women, you have to have maybe at least one, because you have so many, but time is limited.
I talk about so many, but I don't talk about Dr. Hall and the reverent respect that I have for Dr. Hall. And she comes and
He's not supposed to say this.
I knew it. And I told her that I had something to say. So I feel like she doesn't. You give flowers and roses to people while they're breathing, and she goes and you see we're talking about someone that's not even alive anymore, and I feel like so we went to we didn't go. We went to Cross Keys, but not yesterday. We went to South Atlanta High School,
that's right.
And Dr. Hall has a foundation called the Dukes Foundation, and she. How long have you been running this foundation?
I haven't been running it.
Well,
Horace runs it.
Horace runs
started
it. Well, you helped him start it, right?
Right, a long time ago.
So, how many years? About
12, 15, I don't know now.
This month belongs to her as well. Like, she is a advocate, activist, a champion. I love this woman. Like, she is You have to. I have to give this to you. You changed my life. You don't know me for real. I love you so much. And I feel like this has to be out in the world. And, I mean...
I don't know if we're going to edit this part.
We're not.
He's in charge of editing.
We're not editing.
No problem. Oh my goodness. But these women inspired me.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, it's like Mother Teresa said, we can do no great things, only small things with great love. And I truly believe somebody like Alice Paul, someone that I am, she's dead, but I am alive. And I have the responsibility, all of us do, to carry on these legacies. Instead of reading about people like they're dead and turn the chapter, their life, I really believe this, you know I do, was to inspire us. It's like Martin Luther King Jr., any of these people, Gandhi, I think that they would be sick to death if they thought we were honoring statues and honoring them in the past.
No,
Don't you
it's
think?
their legacy.
It's their legacy.
It has to continue on.
I agree.
And you embody that. And I remember we had a conversation that us being bored, we're the greatest species, I guess, or generation that we were known. Like, say, so I'm the greatest out of my family because I was born, you know, all the genes, all the
What we
heritage.
say is, yeah, you are the highest and best accumulation of all of your ancestors. The diseases, the death, the wars, the Black Plague, whatever happened, you are the highest expression of your gene pool because you're alive today. You are.
And you taught me that.
Yeah.
And I just
you
have
carry
to
all that with you and that promise.
bounce it back to you because you're a walking legend to me.
Anyway, we may
But it had
edit
to
this
happen.
out if I could figure out how to edit,
It's
but he
definitely
knows
not
how to
happening.
edit. So this is a problem I hadn't been posed before today.
Definitely being posted.
So anyway, back to Alice. And so
And all women.
And yeah, and all women, but you know, find out about her because, and again, it's not about a dead body and setting somebody who's been. It's her legacy, and also what I realize is we're trying to get the Equal Rights Amendment passed again.
Passed again.
Is we can learn strategies. Whether it's I'm reading also a biography right now on Martin Luther King Jr. And if you look at the strategy that he did in Montgomery and at Dexter when he was there, when you look at what he did in Albany, each strategy moved according to the situation.
Yeah.
So with what we're doing in human and civil rights right now, it's pretty cool to study all of these people that you think are just past in
old
history.
people.
Yeah, and things that happened in the past. History repeats itself, so there are valuable lessons in these
I agree.
biographies. So, as we end, yes, sir, this is
Ken
I'm coaching
Pierre.
him on.
I'm Ken Pierre. This is the way that I see it.
And I'm Kathleen Hall. Thanks for joining us today. This is the way I see it.
Have a great day and a weekend.